My name is Rene Magritte, and welcome back to Slay the Spire. We're probably going to be continuing with the daily, I have to imagine here. Defect, 11 hours left on it. Relatively low scoring across the board. Ooh, a couple of names missing from the standard assortment there on that leaderboard. However, Vintage with Binary. Binary is like, no, card awards contain only 2 cards. Vintage removes the negativity of that, right, in a large part, due to the fact that the normal enemies don't drop cards. So elites will still only have 2 choices after, bosses still 2 choices after, but otherwise we're still going to be having to go kind of far flung in order to find actual cards. So we're looking for shops primarily, and whatever we get as a result of specialized, start with 5 copies of a single card. Please don't be garbage. Although considering the scores everyone else has, I'm gonna say it's probably, ooh. Well, that's annoying. Because this is a card that's only good if you don't care about perfecting the fight. So if you have a deck full of these and you intend to use them in a boss fight, you have to be ready to not get beyond perfect anymore. I'm not going to play with that in mind. I am going to play just, oh, this is going to be a really cool static discharge stacking deck. And try and find ways to make sure that I take as little damage as possible while triggering the effect of them. It's also pretty important here that I hit as many rests as I possibly can while I'm doing this. Just because every rest that I manage to hit... Ooh, wait. No, same amount of rests. Yeah, every rest that I manage to hit here is going to be a giant upgrade over each static discharge because they double their effect. Alright, I think I'll be starting over here. What the heck was that sound? That was me trying to mute my microphone just so that I could quickly cough off to the side, but no. Apparently, my computer has decided everyone needs to be notified of that. I'm just gonna close other windows until sounds stop being made on my behalf by the computer. Ah, that's gonna be it. Almost certainly Discord. Here's an example of being able to trigger the effect of it while losing as little HP as possible. And here's an example of not being able to do that. Still, really damn effective. Centennial Puzzle, the first time you lose HP at combat, draw 3 cards. I could have thrown both strikes and had the 50-50 that the Spike Slime was going to die, but I don't know. I wasn't super keen on that for some reason. Okay. At least that one's split. That's good. I'm not going to be able to defend enough this turn. Not going to be able to aggress enough this turn. Fine. Just let the enemy die. Fossilized Helix. Funnily enough, when I got my first relic, I was thinking, okay, so I'm going to be using relics to amplify this build mainly. Are there any relics I wouldn't take? Would I ignore Fossilized Helix, for example? I'm really sad that I didn't bring that up in the last space, because I would have looked so prescient. But I do think I still take Fossilized Helix, despite the fact that it will negate the first trigger of Static Discharge, just because it will give me more time to set up more Static Discharges before I take my first hit. I have the ability to hit up 2 shops here. The only thing I could really be doing in them is card removal right now with the amount of money I have. Okay, this is another thing. Do I want to put curses into this deck? Because there are so few cards that are actually going to be added to this deck because normal enemies drop relics instead of cards, I don't think we can afford to take the curse. I don't think we'll be able to pad it out of the deck in the same fashion, right? We won't be able to dilute its effect. Ah, here's a great example. I just get to do all of my all of my setup that turn. I'll still play the Static Discharge because I'm pretty sure the enemy will damage me. Yeah, exactly. Of course. With no non-standard defense in the deck. Yeah, that was always going to happen. Pen Nib, every attempt to attack you play deals double damage. Upgrading is just going to be like every Static Discharge. As quickly as I can. Okay. I'm actually going to use both of these just because the deck doesn't have many actual attacks that it throws at enemies. And that's the best turn that I could have even possibly gotten. Yeah. Not having buffer there was an annoyance. I think actually just double defend here is the best that I can do. I only take 5 damage, but I kill. In another turn. I should have been striking there just for the sake of the pen head. Symbiotic Virus at the start of each combat, channel 1 dark. It's fine. It should be pushed out really, really quickly. Apotheosis is here, and we can afford it. Self-repair is also really, really interesting for this kind of a deck. Just for the reason that self-repair would help me heal up after I play all of the other powers. And also, it's another power. It would work in a power stacking build with things like Storm, but I'm not likely to get that many cards, so I'm not really planning around extra cards that aren't necessarily currently being offered to me. Alright. See how this one goes. Apoth Zap, definitely. I think I also Static Discharge and then wait. Otherwise, I'm never going to have a chance of taking out this Gremlin. And yet, allowing myself to take damage means that I can. It's a different way to play, I'll say that much. Bottled Lightning, upon pickup, choose a skill, started combat with an open hand. Oh! I was about to say, I was almost certain that this was patched so that it can't turn up if you only have basic cards in your deck. We also have Apotheosis, I forgot about that. Just upgrade Apotheosis in the next base. Preserved Insect. Enemies in elite combats have 25% less HP. 30? 25, yeah. But now I will always have Apotheosis in my opening hand. That is so ridiculous. My whole deck is upgraded. Hell yes. I mean, sure, there's a little bit of a cost associated with basically my whole deck is upgraded, though. Really wish I could generate something and then dual cast. Well, let's dual cast first, I guess. Kill that character. And then this one will die now. That's 8. 8 lightning we were about to generate on that single hit. Smiling Mask, the merchant's card removal service now always costs 50 golds. Oh, we've got so much time to set up here. I love that 3 Static Discharges shows up in that hand. 2 will turn up in the next hand. Hey! Only just as well. Alright, I used the dual cast there so that if I happen to draw dual cast again in this next hand, yep, I can double throw that Dark Orb. Perfect Lagavulin. Question card. Future card awards have one additional card to choose from. Equilibrium is... I've liked Equilibrium a lot more recently. It feels to me a lot like the analog for Leg Sweep in Defect. 2-cost skill with a large amount of defense, effectively. I don't think I take it, though. Really don't. Stack would have actually made more sense to me, I think. So, Hexaghost, the game is effectively going to be trying to find out how many of my Static Discharges I can get played by turn 2. Ooh, the Courier. Merchant resource cards, releasing potions. All prices decreased by 20%. That could be really important. Possibility exists that that lightning kills the midliner and I save my buffer this turn. Unfortunately, didn't pair out that way. I still have to prioritize defense. I'm not going to be perfecting the boss, so I've already given up on that. Yeah, so there's no reason for me to purposefully lose HP just so that I am better up against the boss for the sake of perfecting it. Giria, you can now gain strength at rest sites up to 3 times the maximum. That's a storm. Yeah, Storm's just real good. I'm also going to upgrade Storm because Storm is unique in that its upgrade only serves to put it in your opening hand. It gives it innate. So that means upgrading it in combat with Apotheosis does nothing. Perfect. Oh, hell yes. That's pretty much exactly what we wanted. Time for the lightning. Uh-huh. Right. Oh, cool, we won. Core Surge? Deal 11 damage, gain 1 artifact. It'll be immediately upgraded because we're always playing Apotheosis in the opening hand. So it's deal 15 damage, gain 1 artifact. One of the best things I can think about in terms of picking up this Core Surge is it then incentivizes the later pickup of a Biased Cognition. That extra energy doesn't mean anything to us. I think we have to take Coffee Dripper. Despite the fact that we are intending on taking damage every single combat. Oh, I don't know if I can justify that. That's a bit dumb, Ryan, isn't it? Bit dumb? The only problem is we cycle our orbs so quickly that we will lose the benefit from Nuclear Battery almost instantaneously. We have nothing of a reasonable cost in order to take Snecko Eye, and we have no way of cheating out extra energy with our relic set. And on top of that, extra draw doesn't necessarily benefit us right now. Even if we have 7 cards in hand, we would have to get extraordinarily lucky consistently with the Snecko Eye at this point for it to help us. I actually feel it might be Coffee Dripper. I'm not pleased about it. If you're wondering, I'm not into it, but the others do nothing. I think ultimately the Coffee Dripper, the extra energy, the reliable extra energy rather from Coffee Dripper will allow me to play more defense to ultimately end up taking less damage than if I had taken either of the other 2 relics. That's my argument for why I'm taking it. It is, it's an argument that's damned by faint praise. It is certainly an argument that can be made. This is real good. I prevent the frailty here. And then dual cast for the kill as well. Happy Flower. Every 3 turns, gain an energy. Very, very handy. Duplicate a card in the deck. That could get another copy of Storm. Oh, that's really good. With all of these powers. Oh, this is a power stacking deck. It's a weird power stacking deck. I'll give it that much. But it's a power stacking deck nonetheless. So I've taken 5 damage, but I'm destroying these bosses. Regal Pillow, whenever you rest, heal an additional 15 HP. Yeah, I know, they're not bosses, they're normal enemies. I used the wrong word, alright, I cop to it. Okay, we just got snacked. Oh! We deal so much damage before we even generate a single lightning from Static Discharge. It is bonkers. Kunai, every time you play 3 attacks, gain a single point of dex, as well as a Gambler's Brew that I'll opt to pick up there. Move a card from the deck, these should just be strikes. Alright. Yeah, none of those are upgrades that we actually want to hit. So, rest sites are just strength for us. Despite the fact that we don't really want the strength from it, but yeah, whatever. I'll take it. Free strength, sure. All right. Let's see where these ones land. Yep, murder the frontliner. And the most liners now. Beautiful. Let's get a single copy of Electrodynamics in here so that AoE is much better for me, and then we're off. We're off to the races. Unceasing Top. Whenever you have no cards in hand during your turn, draw a card, and Self-Repair. Self-Repair is exactly what I wanted. I am so pleased to see it. Okay, 12 incoming. I can't block that 12 if I try, so may as well not try. Specifically because the buffer has got it for me. And I get my 10 HP at the end of the combat. Oh, perfect. That was also another consideration for picking up the Coffee Dripper, which is I already want Self-Repair in this deck. Self-Repair fixes so many of my problems. If I take Coffee Dripper, my need for Self-Repair increases, but the amount of things that I need to rectify this run decreases. All I need is all I need at that point is Self-Repair. I'll drop the Flex Potion just because we don't have many attacks to really capitalize on it. Emotion Chip. Oh, if you lost HP during the previous turn, trigger the passive ability of all of your orbs at the start of your next. Woo, that is mean. Especially in this kind of a deck. Good gosh. I think the best thing that can happen to me at this point in time is picking up Mummified Hand. That's it. Orichalcum, if you end your turn without block, gain 6 block. White Noise. Actually pre-upgraded. Hell yeah. That comes with me then. It's just free power. There are very few powers from White Noise that I don't want at this point in time in this specific deck. I could just take Echo Form. I think Echo Form is more setup than I need to do. Because, Echo Form, so the first time Echo Form triggers is the turn after it's been played, because it doesn't trigger on the turn that it's played, right? So that means that in order to benefit from Echo Form, I have to have either Echo Form in my opening hand, and then my second hand gets to benefit from Echo Form, or more likely, my god, my throat is dying, one sec. Excuse me. Or, more likely, it doesn't turn up in the opening hand, it turns up in the second hand, and then the third hand gets to benefit from it. We only have 4 hands, by the way, per battle at this point in time. And effectively what I'm saying is that by the time we play the Echo Form, if we prioritize it as the first thing that we definitely have to play, we won't really have many more powers left in the deck to actually benefit from it, right? Because as soon as all of these are out, right, they're all exhaust, and the powers obviously remove themselves from the deck. I'm just duplicating strikes and defends at that point. I don't think I take Echo Form for that reason. I do not know what is happening to my voice right now. I sincerely apologize. Pouring myself some water to try and actually survive. I got a good growly tone if I wanted to go for a completely different style of recording. But no, it's not me. Let's get another strike out of the deck here. Oh my god. Woo! It sounds like I've aged 50 years in the last 20 seconds. Good lord. Snap back to reality, Rhapsody. Playing that defend, not playing that defend were exactly the same there. Except for the fact that I could have gotten to dual cast, I guess. And I forgot about the Unceasing Top. That one's on me. That one's on me. I mean, all of the previous ones were also on me, but full stop. That's one of those rare cases where a but precedes a full stop. Ooh, yes! Membership card, 50% discount on all products. ZXD, I have found the thing you did. It clearly is this, right? I think at this point, though, I just stop spending money. I need to get more money and then go to a later shop and just buy everything out. A very late shop as well, if I can swing it. I can just spend 1 energy to start mulling here, but I think I'll just go for the Swift Potion, because then afterwards I can gamble this brew if I really want to. And in fact, I do really want to, because that's a lot of garbage cards that wouldn't have helped anything this turn, that is. Alright, 18 incoming. Ridiculous amount of stuff. Ah! Started good. Ryan! Unceasing top. There's an unceasing top in the deck. You, Ryan. Alright, I had another buff at that time as well. It is kind of ridiculous how much damage I've managed to buffer away from this. Another thing that's kind of ridiculous is the fact that we did all of our whole damage thing to the champ, and the champ is still standing. This is intimidating to me. I mean, the champ will now die. Quite heartening. But we shouldn't have had to try this hard. If I put Lightning Strike in this deck, that would be like a great finisher. No copies of it. Amplify is actually super effective here, though. We have so many powers. Sure. Remove 2 cards from the deck would just be 2 strikes. I'd have nothing in the deck except, like, nothing non-exhaustible in the deck that actually deals attack damage. Oh. Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds like a good idea. I mean, also, like, a single barrage or something like that is just great for us, but I like the idea of the deck that has no attacks. I'm playing a pacifist build. Ish. There is a Core Surge in the deck. Yeah, that's the ish on the pacifism. Oh, damn. Amplify, Storm, and Storm. Woo. That is a rough thing to do. For these reasons. Matryoshka, the next 2 non-boss chests you open contain 2 relics. Upgrade all cards you can no longer heal. Gain 999 gold, 2 normality. We have the blue candle. We can pass. We can burn those. Do I want to put curses in my deck? Try and up my score modifier that way now? It's like, I could probably could. No, I'm not going to find 3 more curses over the course of the over the course of the floor, that is. So I want to go to this shop, remove 1 normality, and then just buy a bunch of stuff. But I don't want to buy bad things. Oh, this is actually going to be more difficult than I thought. Incense Burner is really good. Every 6 turns gain 1 intangible, especially because then I just don't block. Let the enemy hit me. Hard to do that with Orichalcum, though. Ooh, that's an anti-synergy there. Actually, we would want to not have Orichalcum in that circumstance. Take Incense Burner, Lantern, start each combo with Vigil Energy. More than happy to have that. Stone Calendar. Do I want to wait to the later shop? Yeah, we have a later shop as well. It's just largely that I don't want to pick up a bunch of garbage cards. And let's be real, these are garbage cards. Early? If I do that, I want to do it late, just before I finish out the floor. Let's get the normality out of there, then amplify Static Discharge and Static Discharge. Woo! Hit me. I take 7 damage, and you'll take more. Art of War! If you don't play any attacks during your turn, gain additional energy next turn. We barely ever play attacks. I don't think we're at risk of of not activating that. Yes, I actually remember right now that I have the Unceasing Top. Thank you. I took a special effort. All right. Hell of a lot of powers out there. Zap. Can normality no longer be cheated? I need to know. Yep. I don't think it can be cheated anymore. Yeah, it can't. It cannot be cheated anymore. Woo! Really glad to know that. Although I really wish it didn't function like that either. Straddling the line on that issue. I'm on both sides. Alright. There goes normality, as well as my buffer, unfortunately. But if I want to continue a cycle at all, so's the way it's got to be. Unfortunately, now we take 30 damage because our intangibility turn is over. Do I block again? No, because taking 6 damage is possibly the least damage I can take against the giant head in a single turn. Data disc! Start each combat with 1 focus. That is really, really quite good for us. Right. Yeah, this is not good. There's no reason to smith anything there. Clearly what I should have done is just duck out the other side, go for an extra normal fight, get an extra relic. That's my bad. That's me relying on the old measuring format for is the space good? Oh, damn it, normality! He's so garbage. Heat sinks. Oh, it's gonna casually draw through the entire deck if you don't mind. And if you do, I'm still gonna do it though. I hate that Amplify came up in exactly the wrong time. Quite unfortunate. Alright. The boot, whenever you deal 4 or less unblocked attack damage, increase it to 5. An ancient potion that I probably won't use. Bronze Scales, started combat with 3 thorns, as well as the oddly smooth stone, started combat with 1 dex. Neat. Ooh! Runic Capacitor, started combat with 3 additional orb slots. I'll also remove a normality from the deck. Oh, damn. There's also a Master of Strategy here that I could pick up. The more cards I add to this deck, the far more dilute it becomes and the far less effective it becomes. I'm worried... What I'm saying is I'm worried that if I put enough cards in this deck to get a good score, then I will die to Donu and Decker. I said I wasn't going to focus on score, but this is actually a fun way to focus on score. We very rarely have membership card and Courier in the same run. I'm doing it. Loop to fragment. I mean, do I just buy out all the powers? Maybe that's... Maybe that's it. Just buy out all the powers until I have... Okay, collector's bonus on Hello World. Collector's bonus on Defragment. Let's sort them A to Z so that I can check. Yeah, Defragment. Hello World. We're 2 off on Loop. We're 1 off on Storm. We're 3 off on Self-Repair. Okay, there's another Storm. There's another Storm. Great. So what? I'd be digging effectively for Loop or Self-Repair at this point. Or Heat Sinks, but I need so many of each of those. Okay, I think I'm no longer getting value out of taking those. I think now I want to look... Actually, you know what? Turbo! I have Unceasing Top. Yeah, Turbo. Turbo's great for us. Go for the eyes. Steam Barrier. Beam Cell. Beam Cell. Jerry. Beam Cell. Sorry. Recursion. Cool-headed. Go for cool-headed. Recursion. Ooh, a boot sequence. I don't know why I'm taking that. Skim? Also not. Not sure why I'm taking that one either. I'm padding out the deck effectively. I need 50 cards in here for the highest score modifier. Hey, ooh, another. Ooh, Overclock. Sure, who cares about a discard pile when your deck is this big? Tempest? Oh, another card. Yeah. So, that was all really dumb, and I probably shouldn't have done it, but I was really hopeful I was going to come up with a good reason in the middle of all that. Didn't it happen? Nah, didn't it happen? All right. Ooh, big old Tempest. Good fight. Anchor, studies combo of 10 block, as well as a rest. If I upgrade anything that becomes innate, or rather upgrade anything so that it becomes innate, it will increase the size of my opening hand. Because currently everything in my opening hand is there because it's innate or bottled. So, see, 6 cards this time. Isn't that fun? Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty hopeful the frontliner is just going to die passively. That's why I didn't focus on it at all there. Okay, cool. I didn't even look at the enemies at all. Just like, play these cards. I'm doing solitaire. You do whatever you want to do. All right. One more elite for us. I like how much block we generate on turn 1 as well. We actually get a lot of setup as well as a lot of offense out on turn 1. Sorry, a lot of setup, offense, and defense all out on turn 1. That's pretty good. It doesn't get much better than that. I'm obviously extremely pleased at this point in time that I have buffer. Thank you, Fossilized Helix. Woo! Let's amplify self-repair here. Let's make absolutely certain we're up on full HP. Gold-plated cables, your rightmost orb triggers passive an additional time. Wild. I'll even take a reinforced body. I'm feeling generous. And then our final upgrade goes on the final copy of Storm in this deck. Yeah, I feel like this is pretty divergent from what most people would have ended up with. Yeah, none of these are great. Well, at least it's 0 cost. Ooh, Turbo is so good for us. I can skim, try and pass over some of these bad cards here. Storm and then Defragment is... oh, just juicy. Really wish I had an Electrodynamics in this deck, though. Or a Calipers. We would save so much block. So dual cast. It should have been defrag dual cast, of course. So I only need to block 13 this turn to perfect this fight. Or not. Or I could just wait for the resolution of the actions I've queued up. 1092. Yeah. Still not a great score. I did end up buying a bunch of stuff, but I only ended up with 4 collector's bonuses and only 1 perfect. I did get Encyclopedian, which I was going for at that point in time. Yeah. Yeah, that's not that many collector's bonuses. We would have needed, I think, so much more money. We did end up getting I Like Shiny, but, you know, it's a it's a vintage run. You always get I Like Shiny. Maybe people did just, like, cut the static discharges and then build defense. Because there are a lot... like, I'm not even on the first page. Burst! Burst! My friends! What happened? Did you do the same thing I did? Because I would not be surprised. We've got a very similar score there. For the second day in a row, actually, you and I have very similar scores, Burst. For the moment, though, my name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. I'm going to go get a throat transplant. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.